Hello, my name is Louis Goff from Severnvale School, and I've been doing a work experience placement at K-Sharp. This week I am taking over the K-Sharp lab to highlight the task that I have been set, which is to research the effects of surveillance on human behaviour, and to deliver this in a technical report and a presentation.
So we set you a question. Jasmine, do you want to give us a brief overview about the question that we sent to?
So the question was about human behaviour and surveillance, and whether surveillance will affect human behaviour if you know you are being watched or you're not being watched.
Cool.
So we set Lewis the task of finding this out.
So Lewis, tell us what you think about what different types of surveillance are there?
Well, there's a lot of types of surveillance. I think the most important one, which everyone knows about, is CCTV. Like, you have CCTV cameras everywhere. And you also have internet perseverability, which is everything you do online is recorded and you can see it any time, and you can take information and extract it. You also have other types of surveillance like webcams, TV shows, and mobile phones, and it can be used for good things like recording yourself and having fun. However, it can also be used for bad things like stalking or sorts of sexual content.
Okay.
And that's all. Yeah.
So, Jasmine, we've looked at this in the past about how people use online and how people treat online differently depending on their age.
Yeah.
So we presented, we developed a paper which we presented at the Ergonomics Conference around generational differences. Do you think some of the elements around CCTV and the way that people deal with surveillance can have a generational issue?
Yes, I do. I think in terms of CCTV, that is for all ages because it's going to track everybody. In terms of webcams and audio devices, for example phones and tablets, I think that is, from our research, is a younger generational issue, especially webcams. There's a lot of issues around, well, as Lewis says, sexual content and recording people online, and when they're not actually aware that they're being recorded. So that can be used for quite bad things. There's a lot of issues around it now because, for example, I think now it's a law against posting explicit pictures of your ex-relations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's connected to surveillance and people having information that they're not supposed to have. So,
Lucy, you talked around having the idea that stuff is available on the internet all the time.
Yeah.
Do you think that people are really aware now that actually when you post stuff online that it is there forever?
I think they make sure that you know that it's going to be on there. That if you post something on Facebook, you can't get rid of it, and I guess you have to be careful. And if you're not told that, then it can be a cause of many problems.
Did you find any case studies that showed the effects of how humans change their behaviour when they're under surveillance? Have you got any examples?
I have got an example of Salford University, where they implemented this to make the people who go there feel that they are safe, and they kind of advertise themselves to be a safe and happy community. You also have the Enfield Borough, which is a place in London where they have CCTV. I think it's about 50 plus cameras there now, and they want to be made aware that it's a public place and you are safe there, and you can be there any time of day and you're not going to be any problem.
Excellent. You've been with us a week.
Mm-hmm.
And this is your real first experience in a workplace like this.
Yeah.
Have you found it different to school?
Definitely a lot different.
In what way?
I guess it's more focused on one thing, where in school you do a lot of other things, and you have a task which you have to do over a longer time, I guess. And it's a lot nicer. It's very welcoming, and people there are very kind at the work experience. Make you feel very welcome.
Good. What else is there? Is there? Where do you see? What sort of things have you learned while you've been here? Is there any skills that you're going to take away with you that you can then?
From the presentation which we did, I learned that I should make sure that information should be concise, and it should also be readable, so you read it and a person who's reading it is at the same time and they're following it along with you. As well as I've learned about Google Scholar, which is a researching site, and I learned how to formulate my information into a report. And I just grown as a person, I guess, from work experience. It's been pretty cool, and I've enjoyed it.
Okay, that's good. Jasmine, this is the first time you've ever really managed somebody in this way. How have you found it?
It's been nice to have somebody else in the office. It's also been nice to share what I do with somebody else and teach somebody about the skills that I've learnt from being here. So and being able to explain how you analyse a bit of research to pick out the most specific bits that are going to help support your work as well. So,
cool.
Yeah.
We've had Lewis here all week to be part of our work experience programme. This is the first time we've ever had a student from a secondary school here with us at K-Sharp, but we found it a really valuable experience. Not only has it been around trying to find out how students want to engage, but it's also an opportunity for us to try and transfer some of our skills that we would like students of the future to have, therefore making students way more employable in the future workplace. So we look forward to working with schools like Severnvale and others within Gloucester and Gloucestershire to make the workforce of the future.